All right, let's talk about something that I heard someone say just recently, and especially because we're hearing a lot of talk about socialism and things like that due to recent events. And I heard somebody say that, well, how come when Jesus talks about feeding the poor, you call it Christianity, but when a politician talks about feeding the poor, people call it socialism? All right, so it's a good question, but the key difference comes down to who's doing it and why they're doing it. So when Jesus commands his followers to go feed the poor, which is a great thing, he talks about a personal response to the grace of God. It's an act, a personal act of love flowing out of a changed heart, your changed heart. In Matthew 25, Jesus says, I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. So he's not talking about a government program. That's the church. Christ's bride. That's the church. That's believers. That's individuals showing the love of Jesus Christ. Christians' compassion is voluntary. It's born out of gratitude for what Christ has done for you. He showed us compassion. He showed us mercy. He showed us sacrifice. And we're supposed to do that to our fellow men. It's worship. It's love in action. It's giving because we want to, not because the government says we have to, not because the government's taking our belongings and giving them to someone else. Socialism, on the other hand, it's not about voluntary compassion, right? It's about the state taking from the some and redistributing to the others by law. It's forceful. Now, the intention might sound compassionate. It might sound like, well, they got plenty, they don't need it. I'm going to give it to somebody else. But the method removes personal responsibility and replaces it with control. Governments can't love people. It can hand out money, it can pass policies, but it cannot show mercy. Only people can do that. When the Bible calls us to care for the poor, it's speaking to our hearts, not to Congress. It's not commanding Caesar to take more in taxes, and it's commanding Christians to open up their hands. The early church didn't go lobby Rome to start welfare programs. They shared their own food, their own homes, their own resources. That's love. That's Christianity. You see, the difference is that was the church doing it from their own. The church chose, I have this, I'm going to help the poor. It wasn't people coming and taking people's stuff and giving it to whomever they thought, deserved it. See, Jesus wasn't a political reformer, he was a redeemer. He didn't come to create fair economic systems. He came to save sinners, which is far more important. And when he changes a heart, that heart becomes generous. That heart becomes compassionate. That heart becomes willing to give. But when you try to enforce generosity through politics, you don't get compassion. You get resentment. Look at history. So, yes, Jesus told us to feed the poor, but he told you and me to do it, not the state. The difference is ownership and motivation. Christianity says, I'm going to sacrifice, I'm going to help because I love Christ. Socialism says, you're going to sacrifice because the government decided that you will. So, God's way transformed the heart and the communities from the inside out. The other way tries to change behavior from the outside in, and it never produces true righteousness. So we just need to be clear that feeding the poor, absolutely Christian, absolutely the right thing to do, but it's not Christian when it's coerced, right? It's Christian when it's done out of love. True generosity doesn't come from political systems. It comes from people who know what it means to, to have been forgiven, to have been shown compassion, to have been shown sacrifice and love, and then give that to others. That's the heart of it. One springs from grace, the other springs from control. Jesus calls us to give freely, to give cheerfully, to give from our hearts. And we as we should, because that's where the gospel does its greatest work. All right. So hope this clears that up. Love and appreciate you. Thanks for watching as always. God bless, and I'll see you back next time. Bye.